Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my weekly reading update for May 20th, 2018. So technically I'm filming this on the 19th because I have family coming in town for my grandfather's 100th birthday, and we are having a big party for him on the 20th. So I figure I'm not going to be able to film on the 20th. So I figure I'll film as much as I can on the 19th of what I've read so far this week, and then I'll finish it out on the 20th before I post it. So that's kind of what we're doing here. So we'll just get right into it. So on Sunday last week, I was reading Older Gulch by Ernest Haycock, and I did finish it that day. I just sat down and read it without any distractions. I didn't watch any TV or have any music playing. This book took some concentration for me, but I really enjoyed it. I thought this Western was not what I expected when I first started, but it got so good. But it also was so concise, the writing, that I had to turn stuff off and I couldn't distractedly, read it. So this was published in 1941, and the story itself takes place in 1863 with a guy who was shanghaied in San Francisco, and he gets to Portland. He gets off the ship that he was shanghaied from, and he's on the run for that. He runs into a woman who helps him, and she wants to leave Portland from, the quiet, sedate life, and she wants to go have her adventures in gold country. So they travel across from Portland to Montana to Virginia City, and where the gold is Older Gulch. So this book was really, really good. I am still really surprised about how much I enjoyed this. It was pretty quick, fast-paced in a lot of ways, but it was, as I said, it was so concise in the way that I had to read every line because it conveyed something, either an emotion or something with the scenery or with the action. You just could not skip lines. And again, I hate the fact that I sometimes scan, I don't mean to, but I scan down the page for dialogue. And so this book, I had to stop myself to literally tell myself I could not do that. I had to read each line because I really had to do that. So to make it all make sense. But the biggest deal for me on this was the characters, and I thought they were so well written. I know I have seen there's only a few reviews on Goodreads, which I really think I'm going to write one because I don't usually do that. I write reviews for myself for later, but I don't actually put them on Goodreads. But I might actually put one on here on Goodreads because it was just so good, and I just felt that the characters were done really well, while other people saying that they were cardboard, and I go, no, they weren't. They actually had thoughts and feelings. Like, the guys were not all macho and, they were trying to be, but they weren't. Like, they had all these issues, and they had pasts and hang-ups, and I thought it was just so well done. And the women were fantastic. Now, there are only a couple of women on the page that actually have speaking roles, and I kind of knew that going in because it was a Western, first of all, but mostly I knew that because it was taking place in a gold rush town. So, there's not as many women usually in those situations. But I thought they were all so interesting and so against stereotype in a lot of ways. Because, the one who was supposedly virginal and everything, she could be super cruel. She had good reason to be, but she still was. She was hardcore. And then the one who was, the dance hall girl who sold tickets to let them dance with her or buy her a drink. She had a heart of gold and everything, and she was all out to help people and stuff. It was just, and then again, it was surprising to me and how good they were compared to some books that I've read that are written nowadays in normal genre fiction, in normal fiction at all. So I thought it was really well done overall. I really enjoyed it. I didn't know for sure which way this story was going. Again, it is written in the 40s, so there's just not a lot of, I would say, a lot of bad stuff. I would not say that there's the politically incorrect stuff, except that was in that time period, I guess. It was really well done. I'm actually surprised at how much I didn't cringe about stuff. It made sense, and it was gritty, and I liked it. It was good. I really enjoyed this. And so if you're looking for a Western, I would definitely recommend this one. Again, it wasn't very long, but it just took me a little bit longer than it probably should have because I had to concentrate so much on it. But I'm so glad I did, and I'm glad my dad made me read it. And now I'm almost sure he's going to make me read other books. We'll see what happens next. Anyway, so after I finished that, I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to finish The Mortal Tally by Sam Sykes. So this is book 2 in the Bring Down Heaven trilogy. I started it last month, got about 45% of the way through, and then I got sick and couldn't read, and I cannot read fantasies that are new to me when I'm not feeling well, and I didn't read anything for a while. So to me, this kind of was holding out there, and I'm like, I need to pick it up, and then so when I finished Older Gulch, I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to get back into this because this is the book I want to read this week, and I did, and it took me most of the week, but it was so good. I really enjoyed this. For a second book, it did all the things it's supposed to do. It boosted all the danger. Everybody just gets hurt. Everybody gets, maimed. There are things happening with the story arch is making sense as the plot is, moving forward, but everybody has their own little parts. Again, it has to do with 6 adventurers are the main characters who come to this city together, and then in the first book, the city stains red. They all start going their own directions, and things start going wrong in the city all around them. And book 2 is no different. They're all going their own ways and all having issues and all dealing with different things. I got to the end. I'm like, no, don't do that. And of course he did it. But the point is, one of the characters, but I knew going in that was kind of going to come. That's the only thing I could say I knew was coming, kind of like I knew it. Everything else, he goes completely against type. Like I would not have guessed that happened or that was going to happen. Or there's only a few things that I guessed at. Everything else, I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. It was so good. And I really enjoyed all the way everything went. And again, it's funny. The characters are funny. They don't take themselves too seriously even when they should, and it's really a good fantasy. And there's so much good social commentary in here about talking about people and other species and other cultures and how they don't get along because that's somebody different. And I thought he did that really well in this book. It came across really well. So I really enjoyed this book. I can't wait to pick up book 3, God's Last Breath, but I'm going to wait a couple weeks because I want to, read a couple other books in between before I pick up another big monster book. But I really am looking forward to getting to the 3rd book and finishing it out. So I decided to pick a couple small books up. So I have a couple that I want to get to. First one I picked up was Envy of Angels by Matt Wallace. This is a short a series, urban fantasy series about a catering company that caters to fantastical creatures, I guess. And I mean, in this one, it was about had demons who wanted a party, and then they were supposed to serve up something. And it was a weird book. Okay, I enjoyed it. It was really fast paced, dialogue heavy, action. I mean, I read this super fast. It's 225 pages, but I flew through this. I mean, the chapters were short, which helps. So you're just flying through. So I enjoyed it because the characters were weird. I just wanted a little bit more. So I'm not sure how I feel yet completely about this series. I did order the second book. I'm going to order the second book. I ordered from the library, so I wanted to check it out to see if I want to keep reading this series. But I like it because it has 2 characters who don't know anything about what's going on, and they join this catering company as temps to help out for this party event. And then of course they get all mixed up with everything. And so I like it that it's the newcomer gets exposed to the world. And I like that they're so different, the 2 characters, as well as friends, and they stand by each other and stuff. And it's just really, I don't know, there's so many good things about this. It's just, I still wanted more. Like because it was so short and is so quick that I just felt like this was, I mean, it's novel length, I guess, but it just seems kind of short to me. So as I said, I want to read I want to check out the second book and see if I want to continue the series. I guess there's like 7 books in it. But I mean, there's some really good things about it. It really twisted in some weird ways though. So anyway, and right now I'm in the middle of The Only Harmless Great Thing by Brooke Bolander, and I'm about 42 pages into this. This is only 92 pages. This is the one I bought way too expensive for this little thing. So I'm hoping that's not coloring how I feel about this, but so far I'm not loving it. But I figure I got 50 pages left. I'm going to try to blast it out here today. maybe before my relatives show up, but we'll see. So I'm going to cut it off here. And I'll talk more about this once I've read it. I don't want to give anything away right now because I'm in the middle of it. So anyway, I will check back with you in a little bit. Hey guys, so I'm back and it is now Sunday late evening or afternoon. It's like almost 6 o'clock. So I'm tired. We just got back from the party. It was really fun. I think he was so happy to have everybody there and it worked out really well. So anyway, but I'm really tired. So I'm just going to really quickly recap the last couple things from Saturday to Sunday and then go on. So I finished The Only Harmless Great Thing by Brooke Bollinger yesterday. I was seriously disappointed in this. I still really like the ideas and the concepts, and I want to actually research some of the alternate history things that she talks about, because it talks about an elephant being electrocuted on Coney Island, and women in New Jersey being poisoned by radium. And there's a book on it called The Radium Girls, which I really want to get now because of this book and talking about that. And it was a weird twist on how she did the alternate history. I mean, I did go afterwards and read some stuff on Wikipedia, but I want to know more, so that's why I want to get a book on it. But so I think the ideas were good in here. I think even some of the themes and stuff, like I wanted to see more of that. It just was too short. And again, I have a real trouble with short stuff. I mean, I don't particularly like short stories very much. I admit it. I always want more. And I mean, there's some stories out there that are perfect for short stories. And but I guess I like more things that wrap up a little bit better. I mean, I don't have to be perfectly wrapped up like with a bow, but the way it ended just upset me. Like, my parents were here when I finished this book, and I was like, "What the heck?" And they're like looking at me funny because I had to tell them what happened, and they're like, "Well, that's weird." And I'm like, "Yeah, it is weird, the way it ended." So that was just, I had trouble with that. So it was not a good read for me. I think other people would like it, especially if they are like short stories and weird stuff. And I don't know. I just think it was not for me. It was not, I wanted more and I didn't get it. So after that, I picked up Margaret the First by Danielle Dutton. This is a historical fiction. It's kind of like a fictional take on Margaret Cavendish's life. She was a writer, philosopher. She published books in a time when women didn't normally publish books. She was a very strange woman, I think. But it's an interesting story. So I'm almost done with it. I got about 25 pages. So I'm probably going to finish it up later tonight. But I still have thoughts on this, so I will hold them for later. But it is interesting, and I'm glad I finally picked it up because I'd seen it on BookTube for quite a bit. So then I'm just going to say 2 books really, really quick that I'm probably going to pick up this next week after I finish Margaret the First. The first one is Bitten by Kelly Armstrong. It's the first book in the Women of the Other World. I read this many, many years ago, but I have this on audio. A long time ago I got it. So I'm about a little under halfway, and I'd really like to finish it because I want to get back to the series, and I want to either listen to or reread the books that I've already read and then continue and finish the series because it is a done series. So I would like to do that. Anyway, so this is an urban fantasy I'd like to get to using my audio, on audio. And then I'm going to pick up Embassy Town by China Melville. I bought so many of his books recently that I got to start reading them, and this is still the one that calls to me the most. So again, it has to do with a guy or somebody who goes to a place where they're colonizing, I guess, and they have some weird language, and it's new weird. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So it's so anyway, that's it. I know that sounds really brief, and I'm trying to do this really quick so I could put this up. So anyway, so I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope your week is great with reading. I hope mine is too, because I had a great week this time. So we'll see what happens. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.